Welcome back to 26 Ways to Draw a Letter. I'm Lisa. I'm your host, your guide, and your drawing hand. This show is brought to you by Secura, home of the microns. Now we're gonna do the letter O today. 26 different ways to draw an oval. This will be fun. Join me, will you? Grab a pen and a paper and let's do this together, okay? 26 ways to draw an O. Yeah, so the letter O I'm gonna use to Secura Pigment Microns. I'm using size 8 and size 10 per usual nowadays. Now O is not a circle, it's an oval, as you of course know. So this oval, at first I thought, this is more of a script kind of O, but if I made it like with double lines, the down-going strokes are thicker and the strokes going up or to the side is thinner, and didn't fill it in. Look, it almost like an X-ray kind of feeling to it. We can also make an O with a tiny inner circle, or we can try to alter the shape a little bit so it's almost like a rectangle, but of course with round corners, at least here. And let's add some more lines here. I'm using the size 8 for this inner line and an inner line there too. Be careful not to cross the already existing lines, and perhaps there's room for, so I'm using the size 10 in the middle here. Ooh, gotta have a steady hand. Okay. And from when I was a kid, I remembered these alphabet posters. Yes, I'm that old. So every letter was represented by something that started with that letter. And in Swedish, the word for snake is orm, which starts with an O. So here's an orm as an O. Okay, another semi-round object is a flower. So this is an O with fluffy edges. Am I gonna? No. I think I'll leave it like that. And okay, so let's make an O with a very big dynamic. That is a difference between the thick and the thin lines. So these lines are adding up to the thick line of the O, which is the downward line there. Or it's just an O with a bunch of lines in it. Don't have to make it any harder or more complicated than it is, right? So this O, I'm gonna make a little ornament, I think, and the lower half of the body here. So in this case, I just draw the O first and add the ornament later. And since I'm adding it later, I have to fill it in. Otherwise, you would see the lines from the O that I'm sort of erasing now. Another thing that is an oval is this. This is the top of an egg. And here's the cup for the egg. There. Oh, this is my worst. These kind of lines, drawing them and symmetrical on each side, it's like, it's really hard. And that was a long egg, but never mind. I was thinking when I made that O with all the lines in it that I could also make an O that would be a photo frame. Not sure if you follow, but with a little support here in the back, you can totally see that that is a frame, right? Or an O. Here goes for the old kind of circus letters with lots of light bulbs in them. So I made this O with plenty of space for the light bulbs. Too bad they don't make that these kind of signs anymore. So beautiful. Okay, we did an egg and a snake and a flower. I have another idea. Perhaps we can make a smallish window like that. This is sort of a mix between an oval and a rectangle, but don't tell anyone. Okay, so, and this could either be a brick wall or like some kind of old church windows that we have here in Sweden, at least, where the pieces of glass have different colors. Okay, moving on to the more illustrations, and this is an O that also is an I, not the letter I. You know what I mean. A weird way of drawing the letter O, I'll give you that. But this series is about exploring and being curious and testing new things, experimenting. And now I'm thinking we could do like an ordinary O, but with a huge shade. Almost like some sort of tube. Either it is an O with a long shade because the light is shining from the floor on the left side of the letter. Okay, so it creates this long shade. Or it's a black tube. You get to decide. Whichever. I'm fine. So there, and perhaps we should also make it black inside. That is, fill in that one. Oh, I know. This O is a delicious one, and I didn't think of that until now. It's kind of weird given that I do love donuts. Of course, we need a donut A with glaze and sprinkles. Like that. And I'm thinking while I'm doing this that we can make another script O, but a monoline one, much simpler. Okay, so think about the first O I made. Now we're making a rounder one, but with a single line, like that. Boop. And droplets in the ends, because I always do that. That's my thing. I can't help it. The sun. The sun in Swedish is called sol, and O is the letter in the middle, S-O-L. Sol in Swedish, and you're welcome for the unsolicited Swedish class that you're attending to. Okay, this is an oval. There's an oval with a little loop and a little hat. Okay, I hear you. It's not exactly an O, it's a safety pin. But if you want to, you can see it like an O, you know, the overall figure. Yeah, yada. And now we're going to make an O without drawing the O. So I'm thinking we're just gonna do lines like this that are gonna create the O, or a circle, if you will, in the middle. Okay, let's see, can I have another? No, that's right. Okay, and here's an O lying down, like a short but rather broad O there, and there. So let's give it teeth too, so it actually looks like a mouth. Okay, now I want a heavy black O. So I'm gonna fill it in, and perhaps we can also make a little, yeah, let's make a little tail on this one. I'm filling it in with black. While I'm thinking of the next letter, and perhaps it could be puzzled together. Yeah, let's see. There. Yeah, so just a bunch of small, not jigsaw puzzle pieces, but something. Smaller parts that add up and form a bigger picture. Okay. This is not going to be symmetrical or even remotely oval, but I don't care. There. Looks like teeth almost, or whatever. Let's make an O with a shadow, like a shadow there. That falls on the floor when the light hits this letter. And perhaps an O with almost like one of those spring, you know, springs that one used to have in beds, that beds were made up of, mattresses. What? Yeah, whatever. Here's an O. Made of springs. And I thought about the other one with the long shade. Remember? The one that I said looked like a tube. Here's like a version of that. It's almost, I can make it into a pipe or something. So basically it's an O that you have stretched, so it's long or deep or whatever you want to call it, and it seconds as a pipe too. Okay, I think I have 2 more to go now, so I'm gonna make one with pattern inside. So ordinary shape of the O. If you're gonna make like intricate patterns within letters, it's often best to keep the shape of the letter kind of easy to read, ordinary. Otherwise, it's too confusing for the eye. So I basically just split the letter into different parts randomly, and then I use the size 8 micron to round the corners. I only round them up a little bit, but as you can see or will be able to see, it makes quite the difference it becomes more of a pattern. It feels like more of a pattern now. Like it's a random pattern where I've drawn these different boxes. Almost looks like stones or something. Tiles. But that's not what I've done. I just drew random lines, right? And then made the corners a little bit rounder. That's all. So this is an example of an easy way to make something look harder, or at least a little bit more intricate than it is. And we like those. When it's easy to do, but looks like it's hard, right? Okay, last one. I am thinking like a ribbon O, but all in one. So this one is connected. So I'm doing one O, and then I'm making a parallel version like that, right? And I have to carefully just smooth the transition there. And to enhance the ribbon effect, I need to make some sort of pattern or shade or color on one of the sides of the ribbon, right? So what you see in this O is 2 sides of the ribbon. Okay, that was 26 ways to draw the letter O. Thank you for watching. See you next time.